Okay, hello everybody. Here we are once again for our monthly commissioners video. It is now February 2025. We were just actually commenting before the camera started to roll how quickly the month and actually time flies. So, speaking of time flying, Commissioner Hilali, you've been with us now a year as commissioner. Welcome. Congratulations.
My goodness, time flies. Oh, who would have ever thought? Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, as usual, I like to start off by thanking you all for what you do every day. I deeply appreciate you. And not a day goes by when I don't think of you and want to recognize that. And yes, it's been a year. It went by went by so fast. But I couldn't be more proud to represent an incredible agency who's doing incredible work. We're doing incredible work here.
Yeah, and for those of us that have the honor of being with you daily, when you say thank you for the incredible work we do, you don't say that once on a video. That is literally every day. We hear some version of thanks and praise from you about all of the work we do. And when you came in, Commissioner, you set a number of priorities. What are some of the major accomplishments that you believe the agency has made collectively over the past 12 months?
Well, a lot has happened, I think, over the last year. We worked ourselves out of a staffing crisis, and so we're not all the way there yet. We still have some pretty significant things to handle, but we're not where we were last year.
Absolutely.
So I'm very, very proud of that. We established an Employee of the Month ceremony, which, honest to goodness, has been nothing but pure joy to me to see, representation of our entire staff come up and just celebrating the incredible work that they do every day. I have this focus on 0 to 5 and transition age youth, and I'm really proud that we have sort of leaned in as an agency and really taken safety of our kids and permanency and work with our families, very, very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very proud of the work that we're doing, and it's evolving and doing well. Most importantly, I would say also, most importantly, but equally as important, we've established what I would consider to be a really nice relationship with our sister agencies and the way that we're partnering and collaborating. Not that we didn't have it before, but it's even better. And the work with the providers,
Critical.
I cannot underestimate the work that they do and the relationships that we have and the partnerships that we have.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of all of that.
Yeah. And I think the relationships you just mentioned with agencies and our providers also reinforces the priority of enhancing our behavioral health, frameworks throughout the community as well. So it's our 0 to 5, it's our transitional age youth, but you've been very focused on the behavioral health framework as well as it evolves, given what we know is happening in our communities.
Absolutely. A lot of folks don't see us as the behavioral health. We own the Children's Behavioral Health Mandate. So there are really kind of two DCFs, which makes us, I think, holistic in a lot of ways. And we're doing so much in the prevention space. So I'm really proud of that and the work that we're doing, and more to come on that because we're going to build that out even more.
Yeah. Now, as we're here filming, it's February, which is also Black History Month.
Yeah.
What does Black History mean? What does Black History Month mean to you? And we are on the verge of having some celebrations at, I believe, Solent North and our central office celebration sometime next week, actually at the Legislative Office Building, because it's going to be so highly attended. So what is happening around you? What does all this mean for you?
Well, of course, I love Black History Month. Being of African American descent, it is a time where we recognize the contributions of Black people in society and the work that we do. I think there's so much going on among Black people that we need to celebrate and be reminded of where we've come from. And still, we have work to do. I was on a call yesterday regarding substance use disorders, and the work that I'm doing with Dean is and a report came out around how the Black community is not seeking treatment. And so a lot of that has to do with trust, and we see disproportionality and disparate treatment still in our systems. We have a lot of work, and 9 times out of 10, Black and brown kids are overrepresented in our system. And so we have work to do. But proud of Black history and the opportunity to celebrate the rich culture that comes with Black people.
And I believe yesterday we submitted our annual racial justice report to the legislature. Am I correct in that?
Yes, we did. Very proudly, very proud of that. If you get the time, please, absolutely check it out.
We're going to include a link to that in the upcoming Spotlight on What's Right newsletter. I think that's really important. So speaking of the legislature, here we are now. It's session time.
Yes.
You have been all over the place between meeting with legislators, appearing on, public hearings. Tomorrow there's a huge public hearing. Yeah. What's your message to staff about this time of year and them becoming involved?
So the legislative process is very fascinating. It's a piece of work that, as a worker, as a supervisor, and even at the academy, I knew very little about that work. And so I think it's critically important for everyone to understand that process. So if you're available, I hugely suggest that you tune in and watch me testify on some of the bills that we want to have passed in order to make our work a lot easier. And also, there are bills that are proposed that have tremendous impact on the work that we do. A lot of folks look to me to think that I have all this power that I can do things. Half of the time there are bills and that are being drafted and passed that we have to implement. So it's interesting to watch that process, and I would encourage everybody to do so.
And if staff miss it live, you can review hearings on CTN, Connecticut Television Network.
Absolutely.
And go back, look for the Children's Committee.
Yes.
Where you will testify. But also, you are very big on promoting the subject matter experts throughout the department to also go and testify, because that's where the true information is held. Plus, you want them exposed to the process as well, and for our legislators to see the wealth of knowledge we have throughout our divisions.
Yeah, workforce development is huge for me, and you too might be called to come and testify on behalf of the agency. You never know.
There you go. So last couple of videos, we've talked about staying the course. We have a new administration. There's a lot of questions and concerns and tension in our community, but you have been very clear with the staff, our providers, sister state agencies, statewide advisory council, about how we should respond and think given the climate today. What is that? Is that message any different today than it was last time we were together?
Absolutely not.
Yes.
We are so blessed to be living in Connecticut under the administration that we have. And my message is and has been stay the course. I will not deny that it is very unsettling. There are a lot of people hugely dysregulated and living in fear. And we are doing our best to make sure that we maintain our values and our ethics. And our message is stay the course. When and if things change, we will let you know.
Yeah. And that message has been steadfast from the minute you started giving it. And again, we are so blessed to have the leadership of Governor Lamont and our Attorney General William Tong, who is protecting the rights of the Connecticut citizens in every way that they can.
Absolutely. Stay the course.
We do our work. Absolutely.
That's right.
So a couple days ago, we sent out a memo about GL 115. Okay, here it comes, right? And so GL 115 addresses a problem that we have across the state with the speed at which we're driving our state vehicles, some of the behavior that drivers are exhibiting in state vehicles. Can you tell us about that? And then I can give the staff a little heads up on the training, because I actually took the 4-hour training. I thought it was excellent. But tell us about 115. And this is a really serious topic because this has to be addressed.
Absolutely. So General Order 115 was a necessary a necessary movement to make sure that we have safety in our vehicles, and that folks are driving responsibly. Particularly for us as an agency, we are oftentimes transporting children. And this is a statewide effort. It's not a DCF effort. It is something that DAS really needed to do to make sure that we are safe when we're driving the cars, and that the people that we are safe that we're driving are safe.
Yeah. I think society as a whole drives too fast. We're not paying attention. You see people on their phones. The memo that came out includes links to a training that everybody is expected to take if you're going to drive a state vehicle. I can honestly tell you I took it. It's a long training. It is excellent. It is a great refresher for anybody who's behind the wheel about traveling safe distance, thinking about hazards when you're driving on an inner city or people pulling out. And I don't say that lightly. I'm going to say that to our senior administrators later today. Lock in, take it. It's long, but it pushes you to think. So it's time well spent, but we have to address the issue head on.
One thing I've said is that we are a responsible agency and we are an accountable agency.
Yeah.
And this is part of that accountability message.
Yeah. So you're traveling the state again. Tonight we're going to the Statewide Youth Advisory Board in Willimantic. In February, you've also been to Norwich. You're going to go to Hartford later on this week, Norwalk next week. What has that experience been like? And okay, I got to ask you, the word on the street is that there is a DCF jingle out there. Like, help us understand that we can send around to staff again, because it's getting a lot of press. Let's put it that way.
Shout out to the Waterbury office. I mean, they came up with this jingle that was absolutely phenomenal. I don't be surprised if you don't see that jingle pop up here and again. Let me tell you, these stories have been life-giving to me. Just to be able to see our staff, just look them in the eyes. I see the tiredness. I see the joy. I see, the purpose in their eyes. And so I look forward to the rest of the tours, and I've appreciated the time spent with our amazing staff.
Yeah. And you, Commissioner, have tried to be as visible as you can between tours and Employee of the Month celebrations. You had a really, really nice conversation that started with a compliment to you from one of our staff at the care line, Rocco Carbone, who I believe said to you that in his 20 plus years of being an employee, he had never met a commissioner before. And I saw your reaction when he said that.
That blew me away. It absolutely blew me away. So, Rocco, this one's for you. Not only did we meet, I'm giving you a big old shout out. Thank you for what you do every day, and thank you for being the Employee of the Month. And it was so great to meet you.
Yes, there you go. So we're going to wrap up. A lot of discussion about, again, staying the course, GL 115, a lot of just fantastic work our staff are doing. Any closing comments before we sign off today?
Just in general, I'd like to end where I started, and that is with deep gratitude for everything that you do. Our work is so incredibly complex and often misunderstood. But those of us who do it every day, we know what it takes to fulfill this role in child protection services. And I deeply appreciate you all, and I am here to support you. Have a great rest of your month.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.